Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it. We're going to dive into the 2023 Woodford Reserve Masters Collection Batch Proof. But before we get started, huge shout out to my newest patron and my good friend Scott C. So Scott, thank you very much, man, for supporting the Bourbon Judge. As well as I should say thank you to all my patrons, all the men and ladies that support the Bourbon Judge. Thank you all so much, you guys and ladies. All help for all this to come to fruition. So thank you, thank you, thank you. As well as Scott, as they say, welcome to the family. Honestly, we have a blast. Our patron group, between going back and forth in Discord, our contests, and just honestly, just overall, just kind of family feeling in the Judge house, if you will. So thanks for all my patrons, as well as everyone else who subscribed to the channel and watches the channel. All right, so we're going to dive into Woodford Reserve Batch Proof Masters Collection 2023. We're gonna give a verdict for this one, but then we'll also compare it to 2022. Cool? All right, let's go ahead and pour these while I'm talking about them and all that kind of good stuff. All right, so Woodford Reserve. So when you think of Woodford Reserve, obviously this comes from like the Brown-Forman family. And when you think of Woodford Reserve, I mean, gosh, Woodford Reserve is truly a staple in every bar, every restaurant, every liquor store, every hotel. I mean, you can find Woodford Reserve, like this, the standard core product, the small batch, in every single place possible. If they sell whiskey, you're finding Woodford Reserve. That's pretty much guaranteed, right? And then, of course, many of us, including myself, you know, we all also love the double oaked. So they take their standard bourbon, they obviously put it into a second barrel. So they love their double oaked. That too, great product. I, myself, personally love it. Then they decided to come out with this Masters Collection. So every year on an annual basis, they have the Masters Collection and they do the batch proof. So this is the 2023 and this is 2022. I'm a big fan, historically, a big fan of Woodford Reserve Batch Proof, the Masters Collection. So taking truly their standard Woodford Reserve product, but they're not adding any water to, you know, bring it down to like that 90 proof point. They're actually just blending in, you know, a ton of barrels at fully cast strength, so uncut, unfiltered, and then they create it as their Masters Collection Batch Proof. So truly just their standard product, but a full cast strength. So we're getting to enjoy Woodford Reserve at the full cast strength. All right, there we go. That should be good enough. All right, so last year's came in at 118.4, the 2022. But this year, the proof is up a little bit, 124.7. So what do we know, Judge, in terms of like price point? So for the most part, if you're finding this, MSRP should be anywhere from like 130 to like 145, 140-ish, if you will. Unfortunately, you know, whenever you're out there hunting and so forth, when you find it, it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive than the regular MSRP. Case in point, I didn't find this. I was hunting anywhere near me, like in the Delaware, Maryland area. I had to go all the way to Chicago. Not that I went to Chicago for this, to be clear. I was out in Chicago with the family, and of course I had to tell Mrs. Judge I needed to hunt just a little bit. So I hit a few stores, and luckily, what did I find? Oh, the Woodford Reserve Masters Collection Batch Proof. So I was lucky enough to find this just, again, out in Chicago, hunting, hit a couple stores, looked at the case and at a certain store, and voila, there's the Masters Collection. So it definitely is out there, limited, right? Definitely very limited, but you can't find it. But when I found it, it was not the 130, 140 price point. I think I paid like 155, and then with tax, it was like 165, I think it is, ish, if you will. So a little bit more than what I wanted to pay, but hey, at least I found it, able to get it on the channel, and so forth. Availability, as I just said, I couldn't find it anywhere near me. I know it definitely dropped in a few places, but I couldn't find it because it was very limited. I was able to go to another state, in this case, again, Chicago, Illinois, and I was able to find it. So definitely out there. You just got to look and hunt and so forth. Now, you can actually go directly to Woodford Reserve's to their actual website, and you can potentially actually buy it online through one of their partners. I think it's like Reserve or Reserve Bar. However, if you get it online, more than likely it's definitely going to be a lot more expensive, probably like north of like $200. And you have the whole shipping issue. They have to be able to ship to your state, which we all know shipping to certain states is a little interesting to say the least. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this one real quick. So 2023. All right, so this one again comes in at 124.7 proof. All right, we'll start with this bad boy. Let's get into the nose. Oh, man. This is like Woodford Reserve times like 1,000. Like from a nose standpoint. You get your traditional leather, your chocolate, smidge of vanilla, a little bit of cinnamon. But what's interesting about this one, some brown sugar. What's interesting is that in the background, there's almost like a little note of like a, almost like a mint leaf, kind of stuck in the back of the nose, just kind of sitting there. It's a slight little mint note to it, which you don't normally get from a Woodford Reserve, the standard, or and yet alone, definitely not even like the batch proof ivory. You never typically get that mint note in the background there. That's very odd. I like it though. It's different. Okay. Woo! This nose is just so sexy. Oh my gosh. One thing I love about Woodford Reserve is that they are truly just honestly an icon in the whiskey industry. So everything they put out, typically, for the most part, is always a home run. It really is. All right, this nose is like just pulling me in. Before I sip this bad boy, 3 quick, easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know what are your thoughts on Woodford Reserve Masters Collection Batch Proof. Are you a fan? If not, if you haven't tried this one, are you a fan of previous releases, or are you not a fan? Let me know that as well. Last but not least, please make sure also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notification each and every time I release new content. Cool? All right. Oh man, 2023. I've already poured some in my infinity bottle, so I've already taken care of that, which is what I do for each and every brand new bottle that I pop. So this has some time to air out a little bit. Cheers. Here we go, folks. Oh yeah. Oh man. Woo! That has some kick to it. What is this? 124.7. Standing up. Oh my goodness. Let me get a little bit more. Cheers again. Oh yeah. Wow. There are a couple things. Number 1, everything from the nose transfers to the palate. Traditional, the brown sugar, the leather, a spot of like almost like the vanilla note, the maple syrup. But then also what I loved about this actually is that mint note is very subtle, almost like a little mint leaf. That was in the nose. That also came through in the palate as well. Nice, long, solid, and robust finish. But that mint note for me is what did it. So you're gonna ask, Judge, is this a buy, a do not buy, or leave it on the shelf? Folks, this is a definite buy. Now, I'm going to say though, this is definitely worth the MSRP, that $130 to $150, maybe $160 range. If you see it on the shelf for like $300, $400, $500 because the liquor store is marketing it up 2-3 times MSRP, let's not go crazy. Don't go there. But is it worth the MSRP, that $130 up to like $160-ish? Absolutely, all day, every day. This is a quintessential Woodford Reserve Masters Collection edition. It comes out every year and it is honestly straight up phenomenal. The question is, how does it compare to last year's, the 2022? So last year's came in at 118.4. So just a little bit lower, not too bad. All right, let's get into this one. So on the nose by itself, the biggest difference, this is way sweeter on the nose. A lot of chocolate, a lot more vanilla, and a good bit more probably brown sugar as well. A lot sweeter on the nose, but it's also been open for a year, so it's kind of expected. A lot sweet on the nose. Wow, this is really nice. Really sweet too, though. I like this a lot. All right, 2022, last year's. Here we go. Cheers. Man, that is so good too. but in a different way. If I had to compare the two, last year's is way more sweet, a lot more like the brown sugar, the vanilla, and then also the like the leather notes and the cinnamon, a lot more sweet. What makes this one different is that mint note, that little mint leaf that's kind of in the background, kind of lingering. That's probably the key difference. Both sweet because it's Woodford Reserve, typically a sweeter profile as a whole, but this one's a lot more sweet. This is sweet as the normal traditional Woodford Reserve, but it also has that little mint note, a little kick to it as well, and way more well-rounded and more robust in the palate. So if I'm giving a winner, they're both, I mean, phenomenal, right? Straight up phenomenal. And I mean, I would enjoy them both equally. Let's just be clear. But if I had to pick one, I honestly probably would prefer the 2023 only because it is more well-rounded and it had that little mint note, which was definitely a surprise for me. But that's not to say I'm not going to finish this little bit right here. Hey friends, until the next time, peace, cheers, and most important, salute. Take care, everyone.